I'm deleting my Facebook page.
Hey everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm Stassi.
And I'm Steven.
And in this episode, Steven will be watching The Social Network for the first time. How this works, I'm going to ask Steven what he knows about The Social Network, then I'll give a few details about the movie. We'll go watch it, then we'll come back, and Steven will give his review. What do you know about The Social Network?
I know it's about Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. I know it's about Facebook and how it started with Mark Zuckerberg. I know that Jesse Eisenberg plays Mark Zuckerberg, and this movie got a lot of praise and acclaim when it came out a while ago. Not sure when it came out. Didn't really have the desire to go see the movie, and I think Justin Timberlake is in it because apparently he's also an actor.
Yeah, so you got some things right. The movie was released in 2010. It stars Jesse Eisenberg, Andrew Garfield, Armie Hammer, Max Minghella, and of course Justin Timberlake. The movie was directed by David Fincher, and the producers are Scott Rudin, Dana Brunetti, Michael DeLuca, and Cean Chaffin. You excited?
No. But we're doing this.
Yeah, we're doing it. I love the movie. That's why I'm making him watch it. There's a pattern here. So now we'll go watch it and we'll come back and Steven will give his review.
We're coming back with my review. Okay, so this movie, like I thought, was about Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. I got both of those parts totally right. Basically, it starts off, Jesse Eisenberg is playing Mark Zuckerberg. He's at a bar, just, gets dumped by his girlfriend and goes back to his dorm room at Harvard in Boston and starts, hacking the computer system or whatever, and then basically starts like this program where he's matching girls' faces so people can rank, who's prettier. He gets some notoriety in that. These two dudes, played by one dude, the Winklevoss twins, they are like, hey, this kid's pretty good on the computer. Let's go ahead and get him to help us with our idea. And they basically have the idea for Facebook, but just like for Harvard, people with Harvard email addresses can connect with each other, picture, profile, things like that. And so Zuckerberg goes back to his dorm room, spends a few months writing the code, and then has Facebook. And then he launches it after his other friend, I forget his name, but he basically gives him the idea for relationship status. And he's got his roommate or friend or whatever, Eduardo, played by Andrew Garfield in the movie, and he's sort of the CFO business backing type of guy. The movie just sort of starts cutting back and forth between these different depositions that they're in with the lawyers, the female lawyer, the Jew lawyer, the just, old white guy lawyer. You got all three, the trifecta of lawyers in the room, and basically you realize that sort of this whole shitstorm went down with who invented Facebook, who's owed what, this and that. And so the movie sort of cuts back and forth. Long story short, they get Facebook going at a bunch of colleges across the country. People are loving it because it's cool. And Eduardo's like, we need to monetize this. We need to sell ad space, get some revenue going. And Zuckerberg's like, no, it needs to be cool and we can't have ads on Facebook. So that's sort of their main rift in the movie. And then to throw some gasoline on that fire comes in pretty boy Justin Timberlake, who plays a dude named Sean, who I guess invented Napster and then got sued. And so he's sort of just like this he's not like a drifter, but he's just sort of like this weird guy who sort of sees what Facebook can become and sort of sees how to play the two, Zuckerberg and Eduardo, against each other and sort of get what he wants out of the situation. So then Zuckerberg moves to, Palo Alto, California, Silicon Valley type stuff where Facebook is now, and gets the house. Sean moves in, Eduardo's back on the East Coast in New York, so that sort of separates them all out. And then basically Facebook is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They get some more investors, and then you find out that sort of the end of the movie ends in the deposition room where you find out that Zuckerberg and Sean just completely fucked Eduardo over by diluting all of his shares down so that he basically owns nothing in Facebook. And so, yeah, that sort of dissolving of their friendship is where the movie sort of ends. And then you have some text on the screen with Zuckerberg there looking at the Facebook profile of the girl who dumped him at the beginning. Like, he's still hung up on her. He sends her a friend request and keeps refreshing the page while it tells you, the Winklevoss twins got such and such money, Eduardo got such and such money, and all these settlements. And then the movie ends.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
So I have a few parts that I really liked about this movie. First and foremost, the acting, especially Andrew Garfield. I thought he did really well. He had a lot of the high emotion scenes, when he's basically being fucked out of the company that he helped create, and he's smashing Zuckerberg's laptop and almost punching Justin Timberlake in the face. So yeah, his acting really stood out. Also, Jesse Eisenberg, he's got sort of his quippy little fast way of talking and delivering lines. He talks too fast. I'm not even really sure that's how Zuckerberg really talks, because I've seen him do some, videos and things like that. He is kind of an arrogant guy who just, he obviously thinks he's smarter than everyone in the room.
I think the fast talking was more of Aaron Sorkin and David Fincher.
Well, that's another point I wanted to get to, because I was going to say another thing I liked was the writing, the dialogue, with all those fast, quippy lines back and forth. I thought for the movie, especially when they're cutting into those deposition scenes, and he's, the youngest guy in the room, he's wearing a hoodie and sandals and stuff. It just sort of fit. They're showing he's like Zuckerberg in the t-shirt and jacket when everyone else is in a suit and tie. He's still like that. And then probably something to do with the story that I just found funny, or that was amusing to me, was just the way that they kept talking about Facebook needing to be cool versus advertising, because now you look at Facebook today in 2020, almost 2021, it's all just advertising. Dude, they're so right. 10 years later, Facebook's not cool and it's flooded with ads. It listens to your conversations when it's turned off and then shows you ads for shit you were just talking about. And it's basically...
It's pretty creepy.
Yeah, and it's just everybody's, aunts, uncles, grandparents on there arguing about politics and shit. Facebook used to be cool. Now it's just a place to argue with strangers about politics and other such bullshit. It's not cool anymore.
It turned into,
and now it's worth $1 billion. So I guess Eduardo was right the whole time.
Facebook is for old people now.
YouTube's where it's at.
What was your least favorite part or parts?
Okay, so the primary one off the top was just the way that Zuckerberg getting dumped by this girl at the beginning is just sort of this through line through the whole movie where he can't let it go, and it's like they wrote it like that was the whole reason for Facebook. He has the conversation with Sean, Justin Timberlake's character, in the club where he's talking about how he started Napster to get back at some girl who was dating some guy or some shit. I was like, this is fucking stupid. You don't, a billion, multi-billion-dollar company isn't totally based on some girl. And then another part that was just sort of got annoying after a while was just the way the movie was structured with the cutting in between the deposition and real time. I felt like they could have just done bigger chunks of each to sort of keep things a little bit more coherent. They had things where dialogue was overlapping, which it's cool filmmaking, but as far as the narrative and the story, it could have just been better if you just had sort of a larger chunk of the deposition and what was sort of going on in the present, and then the flashback scenes to the past where everything that they're describing happened. They just cut. There were some scenes where it was cut, and it just kind of got annoying.
That's what I liked about it.
Yeah, I said,
it's creative.
And that's something that I think too, maybe what got this movie so much praise when it came out, and I don't like it. And then obviously the last thing I didn't like about this movie is that we never got to see Justin Timberlake get punched in the face. I really wanted to see that. He was such a dick the whole time. God damn it. Why won't he punch Justin Timberlake? Is he going to fight Justin Timberlake? Oh, if they show Justin Timberlake getting punched in the face in this movie, he didn't hit him. Does he hit him? Don't tell me.
I'm not going to tell you.
And you got the scene with Andrew Garfield where he's just losing it in the Facebook office, smashing computers, blah, blah, blah. And he gets about this close to just smacking Justin Timberlake right in the teeth. And I really would have loved to see that. So that not happening, definitely disappointing.
Yeah, Eduardo. He was so close. He was
Should have
so
smacked
close. Would you watch the movie again?
Probably not. I mean, I know the story. It was cool to watch through once or whatever, but it doesn't. I don't think it has a lot of replay value. I mean, yeah, you know how it all plays out, and there wasn't like that. You know, it didn't have like great spectacular visual effects, action scenes, or like that much of comedy that's rewatchable. It was a good story to keep you entertained one time through, but I mean, now that you know how everything ends and you've seen it all, there's really no need to go back and watch it again.
I'd watch it again.
You did watch it again.
I did. So now it's time for you to guess the budget and box office for The Social Network.
Okay, I'll say the budget, my guess, $40 million. And the box office, $180 million.
Budget, $40 million.
Boom! In your face!
Exactly. Yeah. That's impressive.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with the numbers.
Box office, almost $225 million.
Oh, 225, so it made more than I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had no interest in seeing it when it came out. I knew people liked it, so I knew it was going to be up there, hundreds of millions. So, yeah, good for them.
So now you have to guess the Rotten Tomatoes score, audience, and critic.
All right, so for Rotten Tomatoes, I would say that the critics probably loved it, just ate it up with all the witty dialogue and shit. They gave it like a 94. And the audience, they probably loved it too. It made $200 million, so I'd say they gave it like a 91.
Critic, 96%.
96, yeah, like I said.
And audience, 86.
86, okay. So I don't agree with that. If I had to rate this movie, I'd give it like an 81. It's not a C. It's definitely not a B plus or an A in my book. Like I said, I mean, I'm ranking my movies based on, are they inspiring? Do they have, really good sequences of action or funny comedy? Or do they have some sort of moral, message? This movie, it was just all about, they're all assholes to each other. They're all worth hundreds of millions or billions of dollars now. Like I said, the stuff that film buffs and the people that critique films really liked, with the cutting and the dialogue overlay and the way the sound was lower when he's in the club and this, and you can't hear him because it's like, oh, they're in a club, you can't hear people in a club, like that sort of shit. I don't really, it's like, okay, whatever, like let's just get the story moving here. And yeah, I would give it a B minus, and I wouldn't watch it again. All right, everyone, so that was my review of The Social Network. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like the way that we watch and review movies here on our channel, make sure you subscribe and check on notifications so you'll know when we post a new video.
Also, be sure to comment below. Let us know what you think of The Social Network.
Yeah, tell me how great it was and how much you love it and how it's the best movie of the 2010s decades. And I'll just argue with you.
Please say how much you love The Social Network.
It was a mediocre film at best.
No.
Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.
Bye. Armie Hammer was in Gossip Girl.
So, Armie Hammer is a stupid name.
It's not stupid.
It's like Arm and Hammer. Armie Hammer.
No.
Oh, Rashida Jones is in this movie?
Yes.
Sweet.